Well, hello internets, here we are. Have ourselves a little bit of a video for the day in progress. I'd like to share with you some of a few things that I've been going through. It's been a bit of a stretch since I picked up the camera, but I guess it is what it is, and around we go. And yeah, welcome to our vlog. Well, I've been trying to continue my little hobby here of painting. However, I find that I get burnt out and sometimes I need a break. Whether it's mentally burnt out or physically burnt out, or I struggle with other things that cause me to step away from the whole painting process for a while. I find when I lay out my designs on the canvas, it can be stressful, tiresome. I get wore out from designing the items, so then it takes me a bit to recover from all that to start painting again. When I did my acrylic pour videos, I did like 10 of them and then cleaned up between them, and then I had to take a break from all of that because that was quite the stretch, the 2-3 days that I took to shoot that and nothing else. Even these here vlogs that I shoot, I'll do a few at a time, and then by the time I get them edited and uploaded and all the information filled out on the YouTubes, I have to take a break away from the camera for a while, from the painting, from other activities, because I've overdone it, but at the same time it feels good because now I've bought myself a couple weeks to recover before the next time I have to go again. When things become tiresome or a chore where you have to do it, they no longer become fun. When they no longer become fun, then they become a problem. Then it's like you don't want to do it anymore. So that's kind of why I've done what I've done with my videos, where I'll shoot a bunch and bulk drop 15 or 20 videos to YouTube. Then that buys me a month or so to recover, to plan out more videos and to shoot more videos. There was a time in my life where the whole video thing, I was uploading daily on either all my channels or one of the other channels, making 31, 32 videos in a month. All depends on what was going on, and that can get a little draining after a while, and a person has to step away from all that before he burns out. And I did take a break from the YouTube, and maybe that break wasn't necessarily a good thing for the whole YouTube analytics, but at the same time, what are analytics if you yourself is burnt out from dragging a heavy stone up the hill that doesn't seem to want to work with you? With my paintings that I do, I have ideas that were left over from last season. Ideas that I never got around to, ideas that I couldn't afford to do, that I have started to do this year. Sometimes a little more extravagant than other years. Sometimes the material needed I didn't have on hand. Sometimes the items that I wanted to do required me to build something to do it with, where I didn't have the extra finances to buy those material last year, where this year I'm not much better, but I do have a little bit extra to do some of these fun things with, as well as plan for the future, which definitely is a good thing. My whole painting thing is not particularly any type of style or genre or class or whatever. I've never really took an art class except for whatever they taught you in school, or at least part of school where I was paying attention anyway. I've always liked to doodle or draw or sketch or whatever. I never thought that I would ever pick up a brush and paint because I used to not like to paint, especially fine detail painting, and even still fine detail painting gets me. My hands sometimes don't want to do some of that fine detail work, so then it takes extra longer to do them, but I've tried to push that boundary a bit, tried to keep those fine details going because at the same time it's good for me to keep the use of my hands. It's good for me to challenge my brain and keep my brain going and active rather than just sitting here waiting for the next month to pass, because when you don't keep your brain active, your brain has time to rest, time to go into like sleep mode. Then you can have more problems than you already have. I don't know what the future holds, but at the same time, I've done these paintings for the last little while, and maybe someday those paintings will keep me occupied while I stare at them hanging on the wall. I've got a few ideas that I want to do for future paintings. There was two things that I wanted to build this fall that I've only been able to accomplish one of those things this year. The other thing was what I call a paint spinner for spinning paint. You put paint on a canvas and then spin the canvas. Some people use a drill and use centrifugal force to force the paint out to the edges of the canvas. I have a couple other ideas how to build it. One is manual, using your hands, and you spin it. Other way is using an electric motor to get the RPMs higher than what you can do it on a rotisserie with your hands manually. However, the electric motors can be expensive, and I've been thinking of ways to find a cheap electric motor, like whether it's out of a furnace or out of a washer or maybe out of a dryer. And I've been watching for appliances that people have thrown away. However, either people are fixing their appliances or they're not throwing them away right now. Maybe come the summer, that when people do yard cleanup, a guy can score a washing machine that doesn't pump out, or a dryer that no longer heats, or so. I've noticed with in the winter, people tend to keep motors, whether it's furnace motors or so, because if your furnace quits in 40 below, it could be a week before the plumber gets there. The HVAC tech, as ever, or whatever you want to call them nowadays, gets there to fix your furnace. And an old motor that you can patch in there can semi-heat your house for that time before they show up. I've been hunting classified ads, and around here there isn't much for local deals. However, of course, in the city, with 1 million people or 300,000 people, there's going to be used furnace motors or motors in general on those ads. So it'll just take the right timing where I'm in the city for an appointment, where I've got the money on hand, where it's a month where I'm not running short, where the guy has the motor in hand and is willing to, answer the ad to pick it up to sell it. And then, once I have the motor, then I can build the stand and the spinner around essentially the motor with some lumber, some switches, a few things like that, and we go from there. But just a few ideas that I got shuffling around this head of mine. It is what it is, and around we go. And as always, thanks for watching Maxwell's Vlogs. Comment, subscribe, and enjoy.